Now, if you would have asked me a month ago how my experience was on the 14 Pro Max, I probably would have told you it was the most terrible experience of ever owning an iPhone. Yes, it was that serious. And I'm an iPhone person. I have every single one since the iPhone 4, and the 14 Pro Max just was not getting it done. I made a video with the title simply, no, that wasn't it. I was having all sorts of issues. Everybody was telling me that you got a defect, you need to go swap it out. I don't have those issues. That's your personal device. So I was like, you know what? Let me head over to Apple and let me swap it out. Swap the iPhone out, got another 14 Pro Max, and guess what? Same exact issues. Now, at this point, I'm starting to hear about iOS 16.2 and how it's going to be the saving grace of the 14 Pro Max. So I was like, you know, I'm going to hold off, because if it's not, I was legit going to go out there and buy a 13 Pro Max and just revert back into the 15. So I installed iOS 16.2, and I'm here to tell you, man, it changed my entire experience with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now, before we continue with the video, let me tell you about today's sponsor, and that's going to be Binks. The magnetic hybrid case from Binks is easily one of the best cases out there in the market. It made my top 10 cases for the 14 Pro Max, and while watching this video today, you can get this case for an amazing deal. But if you don't know anything about it, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about the case. Now, the magnetic hybrid is going to be made of durable DuPont Kevlar fiber, which has nice reinforced corners along with that military drop protection. So if you're a person out there, if you have a case of the drop season and clumsy with your phone, don't worry about it. The hybrid case is going to hold you down just fine when you're talking about protection. This case also has a TPU frame that allows for easy removal and installation. But don't get that mistaken for the case fitting bad. No, this is probably one of the most snug and tightest fitting cases on the market right now for the 14 Pro Max. You're going to get very nice, clicky, tactile, metallic buttons, some of the best out there on the market. Also, you have a very soft lining on the inside so you can protect your iPhone, and this case is MagSafe compatible, all packaged together in a very slim, minimal, clean look. Now, in order to get that great deal for this case, you're going to have to go over to the website and use the code RealKevlar. That's going to take 20 bucks off this case. That's going to knock the price of this down to $19.99. And for this case, that is an absolute steal. But here's the catch. You got to be one of the first 200 people over there to get that deal. So make sure you head over right now, grab the case up. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. But if you want a different look in the case, they do offer the Nova Hybrid as well. Now, the Nova Hybrid case is made of durable DuPont Kevlar fiber as well. This case also has that military drop protection. But the thing about this case, that the catch is, it has the innovative freeze mat technology. It's going to absorb that heat from your phone. If you're a person who games, do a lot of heavy intensive tasks, this case is going to be able to cool your phone off by 2.3 degrees for better phone battery and health protection. This case also has that very nice same TPU frame, same nice fit, MagSafe compatible, all in a very nice package as well. So if you want either one of these cases, make sure you hit the links down below. Go grab yourself up one. Let's get back to the video. So getting back to iOS 16.2, let's talk about some of the changes that they brought to it. And the first thing that I was welcoming, that I love to see, was the change of always on display. Now, I don't know about you, but when I got the iPhone 14 Pro Max, I tried it for a day or so, immediately turned it off because I felt like it was draining just a little bit too much battery, and I feel like it was a little bit of an eye strain looking at everything that the phone had going on with the always on display. But now they have this nice minimal version. This reminds me of Android. This is the type of always on display that I was looking for when they announced it. Not the one that they gave us the first time, but now, I love this always on display. You tap the button, then your wallpaper comes up, but you can dim it. Now it doesn't look like the phone is always sitting on while it's on your bedside, while you're out to dinner. It's not a distracting feature now when it comes to the always on display. So I absolutely love the changes that they did to always on display. This is the type of AOD that I was looking at when they first announced it, and I'm glad to see the changes. And I'm also glad to report that I'm not seeing any noticeable battery drain with using this in this configuration as it is. Everything is clean, everything is minimal. This is the way I like my always on display. Now, one of the main issues that annoyed me so much with the older version of iOS and the 14 Pro Max was my random screen glitches that I would always get. I could be in an app, I could be searching the app, I could be all up in the app, and if I try to swipe up to leave it, it would just jam. I would get a haptic feedback, like a little bit of a vibration, and it would just vibrate, and the app would never close. I would have to end up cutting my screen off, cutting it back on, doing my Face ID, unlocking it, and going back into my phone, and then resume doing what I was trying to do. That was just absolutely mind-blowing of annoying of a bug that was. But now I'm happy to say, since 16.2, I have not experienced that one time. So I'm closing my apps, I'm opening them, everything is just fine. I am not having that bug, and thank you so much, because it was annoying. Sometimes the phone would freeze up so bad I had to do like a hard reset just to get it back, which is restarting my whole iPhone, and that's just not gonna get it. All right, now AirPods. Now, this is the bug that literally made me want to throw my 14 Pro Max against the wall. I don't know about you, but I use these things right here, man. I use my AirPod Pros every single day. It's probably my most used Apple product outside of my Apple Watch Ultra, but I use these every day, faithfully. For when I'm working, when I'm in the office, I put these on. Don't talk to me. I got work to do. But the bug that I was having with AirPods was just so annoying, to the point where they were just not reading on my iPhone. I would reset. I would repair my AirPods. They were not reading. They would work fine. I would disconnect them, take them out my ear, do something. 20 minutes later, pop them back in my ear. They don't connect. And they never connect unless I restart the phone. That was another bug that was just driving me absolute crazy. And it didn't matter what version of AirPods I had. It did it with my AirPods Maxes that's back there. It did it with my AirPod Pro 2s. It did it with my original AirPod Pros. And I even have an OG pair of AirPods. And guess what? It did it for every single one of those. So it wasn't an iPhone issue. It was a software issue. And I'm happy to say 16.2 cleared that up as well. I have not experienced that bug since then. And trust me, it reared its face just about every single day. And I have experienced it. I've been having a flawless experience with my AirPods connected to my 14 Pro Max, and I'm excited. I'm happy for that, because that was an issue that was just driving me crazy. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about battery life, because I know that's one thing that a lot of people talk about. A lot of people are saying that's trash coming from 13 Pro Max, but I'm happy to report with 16.2, I feel like I'm getting a little bit of my battery life back. I feel like it may not be on par with the 13 Pro Max. 13 Pro Max was just godsend. That was on a different level. But I feel like if it's the 13 Pro Max is a 10, this is like a 9 right now. I'm getting really, really good battery life on my 14 Pro Max with 16.2, even with the always on display. I haven't even tried it without the always on display yet. That still could be giving me a little bit of drain, but I'm not experiencing it with the older version of the always on. So for right now, I'm happy with my battery life that I'm getting out of my 14 Pro Max. It's getting me through the day. It's getting me through a piece of a second day just fine. But if I go hard on it, I can get this battery to drain. And that's the same thing that happened with the 13 Pro Max. If I went hard on it, you can get these things to drain, but I'm not experiencing that with this. It has been absolutely perfectly fine when it comes to battery life. 16.2, yo. I don't know what to say about 16.2. Apple, you did this thing. Let's progress and keep getting better, because now I'm happy with my 14 Pro Max. Yes, some things still annoy me with the HDR and how they do when they're talking about processing pictures, but for the main point, overall, my experience with the iPhone 14 Pro Max on 16.2 is night and day difference, and I can actually say that I'm happy with my 14 Pro Max. So that's what I want to do. I want to make this quick update because I know a lot of people was kind of curious. Coming off that last video, T, what was you going to do? You going to trade in to get a new one? You going to do this? Look, I'm happy for it. 16.2, you saved the 14 Pro Max, because I was about to go and get his older brother, the younger brother, I guess you can call now, the 13 Pro Max, which is the better brother still, in my opinion. But like I told y'all, man, I am an accessory channel. I'm a case channel, but if you want to check those top 10 case video out of the best cases for the 14 Pro Max, I'll be sure to pop that video above.